what drives loyalty and loyalty is emotion. So where are we measuring emotion? How are we really getting an indicator? Now, if you think about the written word, the way that I write something down, the moment you read it, you're the one who's taking the emotion, not me, because you're reading my words and translating them to go, this is what it means. So that's the limitation of taking a written piece of text and a human or somebody going, oh, they must have written it that way. Then layer onto that the complexity of first language, second language, where somebody is, what they meant, what they didn't mean, all of that kind of stuff. But if you're listening to a call, you've got the tonality. You've got the real what's feeling in there. And then the third part I would say is that the volume of contacts you have into an organization in a contact center is far greater than the sample size you have for an NPS survey. So using it alongside NPS, CSAT, customer effort score, basket abandonment, the NPS score, and how was the sale, using it alongside all of those things should help you to triangulate and find those key moments in the journey where you go, we need to drill down deeper here, and here. And that should force your organization to sort of concentrate, focus in, and prioritize those areas instead of just scattergun.
It's possible now, right? There's no reason why. What you've said there, I think going back to the point around time is a big problem. And I think we've kind of solved for that because you've got AI kind of taking care of a lot of the grunt work to present the kind of data that you need to be able to pinpoint exactly what's going on. And there was an example recently where working with a fashion retailer, and they put their prices up on a particular product and they noticed that their complaints went up, and the immediate kind of response, and based on some of the metrics that they were looking at, they kind of decided that it was initially down to the hike in price, right? That was the only thing that had changed. But what actually wasn't the only thing that changed. They also moved their contact center to Eastern European country. It all coincided. And when they actually digged into some of what people were saying, it was because the people weren't understanding them. Right? When they were calling in, that resulted in, and it wasn't, they were happy to pay, they were getting value from the price increase. They were okay with it. Like the product was still good, but the service they were getting was impacted. So it's just, that's why you've got to go into the detail of it. Otherwise, you'll end up making the wrong decisions.
Isn't that an amazing opportunity, though? I mean, to unlock AI in that kind of use case where you can take that unstructured data and just say, how many times were customers asking the agent to repeat themselves? A nice prompt. Let's train our people, our organizations to be able to use this technology. And the insights you can get from that, that's really powerful. Really powerful. And isn't that exciting for the industry, right?
It's massively exciting. And I think, CX leaders, contact center leaders on this call should be suddenly thinking, I'm sitting on a pot of gold here. How do I extract the value from what we have going on? How do I take the C-suite on the journey to really go, geez, like, we didn't know this was going on? Or like, I've said this to you before, when you're sitting at that board level, you're getting a narrative written in a board pack that's telling you the reality, giving you a version of the reality, right? I'm not saying that people do it on purpose, whatever, but human nature is you're going to tell a story in the most positive way that you possibly can when you present it is. And when you're at that level, you got so far away from the customers that you're not talking to them daily. You don't have that real-time contact. So that you have this version that's presented to you on which you're making decisions and deciding investments. So to get closer to the customer, you've got a number of options. You either go and sit in contact centers, listen to calls, which I would advocate for.
Yeah, for sure.
You go onto the front line and you speak to customers. And the third thing is you get deeper insight out of extracting what's happening in conversations. I want to know what's being said about this thing. Tell me what's going on. What nuances are you finding? The marketing director saying that the last campaign went really well, or the metrics are saying that, but you're telling me that you're getting lots of complaints because people can't use the coupon code or the QR code that was with it, or people are complaining that they've been unable to fulfill, get their order fulfilled. Like, you should be able to do that, not to stitch people up, but to help elevate the conversation.
Improve, that's what we're kind of aiming for, right? CX is all about improvement. Like, we've got to figure out how we kind of do that.